Chapter 30. Dr. Carlson called one morning and said that Olav would be released in a few days. It was much earlier than we had expected, but it was a charity case, and as the doctor said, charity doesn't begin in the hospital, it begins in the home. But whose home? It'll be 6 months before he's able to travel. I grabbed my sweater off the back of the chair and ran out across the soggy lawn. Corey was sitting at his desk, his coffee cup sitting in a brown ring on a piece of scratch paper. "Corey, I know you will object, but—" The phone rang, and Corey waved me silent. While I waited, I looked around the office. Previously an old pump house that we had used as a storeroom, Corey remodeled it, introducing a new floor, 2 large windows, and knotty pine paneling. Besides the desk, there was an old sofa and the little stove that Corey had repurposed after Eric and I had found it in the barn. The words I had been ready to utter brought to mind the chastisement of a counselor after the Cannon Beach rescue. "Foolhardy," she scolded, "deliberately throwing yourself into a situation that was not your concern. You could have lost your life." I thought, yes, I could have. But because I did, 2 lives were saved. And if someone else had jumped in, another life might have been saved. At last, Corey put the phone back on the cradle. I took a deep breath. "When the ski jumper gets out of the hospital, I think we should bring him home and take care of him. You're the only one who can communicate with him." Corey toyed with his coffee cup. "We wouldn't be very good Christians if we didn't, would we? Only one thing, it'll be a hard job for you." Before I could renege, Corey made another call. "Yeah, we have decided that we can take Olav, but it can't be until after the weekend. Sig's got a jumping tournament that we're going to." When we told the kids, they were enthused. Oh boy, having a big shot skier staying with us? Fun. "Was he a good jumper, Dad?" Eric asked. Sig knew. "He had the second longest jump of the tournament, huh, Dad?" Freya was interested in things other than his athletic prowess. "Is he good looking?" I answered. "Most ski jumpers are good looking. Look at your father." Sig ventured. "Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll all talk Norwegian." I laughed. Yeah. Finally, Freya asked, "Where are we going to put him?" Good question. There was only one place, our bedroom. We would have to give up our beauty rest mattress and sleep on the old Davenport in Corey's office. With that settled, we went to pack for Sig's ski tournament, never guessing the complications awaiting us. 2 days later, I was back at the hospital waiting to see Dr. Carlson. A nurse came by. "Are you here to see your Norwegian ski jumper?" "Well, yes, but it's not Olav. It's my son, Sig. He broke his leg." "Oh my, will you be able to care for 2 patients?" "Well," I smiled philosophically. "Some problems we can solve ahead of time. Others we have to wait and deal with when they come along." Corey and I went home and did more rearranging. Our bedroom now became the ward. Then I sat down to intensify my studies in the Red Cross Home Nursing Handbook. Sig was in a cast from his toes to his hip and felt very poorly for several days. His fall had banged him up badly. Ironically, he had made a good jump, but just as he was about to land, a little girl had run out onto the track, and he had crashed to avoid hitting her. As I tended to him, I sent up little prayers about the added burden of Olav. I wondered what complications we might be walking into, taking a foreigner into our home. I toyed with the hope that the ski club had other willing nurse aides on its membership rolls. Vern Caldwell phoned. "The skier will be released tomorrow. Are you sure you'll be able to manage him? And that you'll have the room?" I was completely unsure. I allowed my mind to dwell on the possibility of Olav going to Vern's house. It was large and spacious and was occupied by only him and his wife. Or, other ski club members had large, roomy houses. I even thought about our Holgate house. 5 bedrooms? It would have been perfect. Vern interrupted my thoughts. "Is it close to a bathroom?" I felt like saying, "Our house is so small that everything is close to the bathroom, but you should see the size of our bathroom." Vern continued. "Of course, Olav won't be able to go to the bathroom for a while. He's in a complete body cast from his ankle to his armpits." From his ankle to his armpits. There was more to the conversation, but I was busy trying to picture a man in a cast from his ankle to his armpits, navigating our hall with its narrow jogs, held together with quarter round. One thing was certain, I'd have to move the clothes hamper. After I hung up, my don't jump into unknown waters attitude was waging war with my Florence Nightingale. I uttered a prayer. "Lord, if this isn't right, I know you can stop it." Corey and I set to work rearranging the office into a bedroom, and the next day we went to the hospital and picked up Olav. My earlier premonition had been correct. Except for his head and his arms and his one good leg, nothing else on his 6-foot frame bent.